All right, let's talk about one of those super common, totally cringeworthy moments we've all been through, the unexpected run-in. We're going to show you how just a few simple phrases can turn that feeling of panic into a really smooth connection. Let's jump in. You know that feeling, right? That horrible sinking feeling. You see a face you know, you give them a smile, and then nothing. Your brain is just empty. It's a universal moment of panic, for sure. But what if you had the perfect way out? Well, that's what we're going to find. Okay, so to really see how this works, let's follow a quick little story about two people, Nick and Anna. Imagine they had a great chat at a conference a week ago, and now, bam, they've just bumped into each other on a busy street. Let's see what happens. So Nick starts things off with a classic, "How's it going?" Now, this might seem like a small thing, but it's a really important choice. Instead of the more formal, "How are you?" this phrase kind of lowers the pressure and sets a much more relaxed, friendly vibe. We'll circle back to why that matters in a bit. And Anna totally matches his energy. When she asks what he's doing around here, she's not just making small talk. She's actually looking for some common ground, trying to rebuild that connection they made last time. Now, pay attention to what Nick does here because it's really smart. He answers her question, his office is right around the corner, but he immediately sets a time limit. He says he's in a bit of a hurry. This is such a great way to politely control the conversation. He's saying, "I have to go," while also trying to keep the connection going by offering his card. And here it is, the moment of truth. Anna asks a totally normal question, but for Nick, it's a total trap. Yeah, he probably has a card somewhere, but does he remember the name on it? You can just feel the tension building. Okay, this right here, this is a masterclass in how to handle that awkwardness head on. Instead of just stumbling, Nick is direct, he's honest, and he uses the perfect phrase, "slipped my mind." It just sounds so much softer than "I forgot." It makes it sound like an accident, a temporary glitch, not like he didn't care enough to remember. And Anna's response is just perfect. She gives him her name and then immediately lets him off the hook. "Don't worry about it, it happens to me all the time. I'm terrible with names too." This is a social game changer. By admitting she has the same flaw, she makes his mistake feel completely normal and saves the whole conversation. So that was a really smooth recovery. Now, let's actually break down the exact phrases they used to get through that social minefield and see how we can start using them ourselves. First up, we have Nick's phrase, "in a bit of a hurry." Honestly, this is such a useful tool to have in your back pocket. It's a really polite, really common way to put a limit on your time without sounding rude or like you're blowing someone off. And just look at how flexible it is. You're in a cab, it adds urgency. You're on the phone, it's a nice way to wrap things up. At work, it helps you stay focused. Every single time, it clearly and respectfully says, "My time is limited right now," and that gives you control. Next up is Nick's key phrase, "slipped my mind." This is just so much better than saying, "I forgot." It kind of pushes the blame away a little. It's not that you forgot, it's that the information itself just slipped away. It's a subtle thing, but it makes a huge difference. I mean, think about it. Forgetting to answer an email, or worse, someone's birthday, can feel really personal. But if you frame it as something that slipped my mind, it changes the whole story from "you didn't care enough" to "oops, it was just an accident." That little wording change can seriously save a friendship. All right, let's talk about those location words Anna and Nick used. Around here and around the corner. They sound almost the same, right? But nailing the subtle difference between them is one of those little things that can make your English sound way more natural. So here's the deal. When Anna asked if Nick lived around here, she was talking about the general area, the neighborhood. But when Nick said his office was right around the corner, he meant a really specific, super close place. And then you've got around there, which is what you'd use for a place you aren't at right now. Simple, but it makes things so much clearer. And now for Anna's brilliant move. "I'm terrible with names." This little phrase is honestly a gift you can give someone in an awkward spot. It shows you're humble, and it creates this instant little bond over a shared human weakness. And you can use this for anything, not just names. Admitting you're terrible with numbers or with directions or even faces, it's this amazing social tool. It just makes you seem more relatable, and it instantly dials down the tension when someone else messes up a little. Okay, let's zoom in on that one tiny detail from the very beginning of their conversation, because it has a surprisingly big effect on how natural you sound. Think about it. "How are you?" is pretty direct, almost like a formal check-in. But "how's it going?" is more about their life, their situation in general. It just feels more open and casual. It's a tiny shift, I know, but it's one of those little tweaks that makes you sound less like you're reading from a textbook and more like you actually live here. So Nick was pretty brave, right? He just came out and said it. But what if that just feels way too uncomfortable for you? Let's look at a couple of pro tips for finding out a name without ever having to ask. First, and this is the most important thing, remember, you are not alone. This happens to literally everyone. I mean, one of the people we researched for this topic admitted he forgot his own uncle's name at a family reunion. Had to call him uncle all day. So hey, if it can happen with family, don't beat yourself up about it. Okay, so here are two super simple, kind of sneaky tricks. If you're in a professional setting, just ask for their business card. Boom, name's right there. Or you can say something like, hey, I want to email you something cool, and just ask them to write down their email for you. Most people's email addresses have their full name right in them. Problem solved. So when you get down to it, the big takeaway is this. Learning phrases like slipped my mind or in a bit of a hurry isn't just about learning vocabulary. It's about social smarts. The right words at the right time, they don't just share information. They build relationships, they manage moments, and they help you get through all those awkward little situations that just make us human. And that leaves us with one last thing to think about. We figured out how to handle forgetting a name, but what other tricky social moments out there can be made better with just a few of the right words? Thanks for watching.